There's a particular kind of revolution that's happening, not with guns or speeches, but with the body. Revolution that says, this is who we are, this is where we come from, this is beautiful, watch us. Catherine Dunham led a revolution, and she did it by dancing. But to call Catherine Dunham just a dancer is like calling the ocean just water. She was a dancer, yes, but she was also an anthropologist, choreographer, a civil rights activist, a scholar, a teacher, and a revolutionary who understood the culture is power, that movement is language, that Black art is not entertainment, but is our resistance. When I think Catherine Dunham, it brings to mind our next guest, who herself is making history, not just history, but Black history. Her name is Mitzi Hightower-Teel. Mitzi is a native of Trenton, New Jersey, and one of 5 siblings born to the late Mary and Alonzo Hightower. Her passion for athletics began in middle school, where she discovered a deep enjoyment for sports training and physical activity. This early enthusiasm culminated in a remarkable high school career at Trenton Central High School, the class of 1976. There she served as the captain of the JV cheerleading squad in 1974 and the varsity cheerleading squad in 1976. And these times have proven pivotal experiences in her life, which also introduced her to her leadership and teamwork. Mitzi's dedication to youth and physical wellness is most profoundly reflected in her 37-year career as a physical education, health, and swimming teacher at the Dunn Middle School in Trenton, New Jersey. Her passion for children extended far beyond her classroom. She served as the head cheerleading coach for 36 years. She coached both the girls and boys track team. And while she was doing that, she established the award-winning Dunn dance group and modeling team that engaged over 40 students annually. She also coached a double Dutch team to a success and showcasing her capabilities and her inclusive spirit. In 1998, she was inducted into the Trenton Central High School Athletic Hall of Fame, and recognition reaffirmed in the 2021 during the opening of the school's new art facility. In 1995, her impact as an educator was acknowledged on a higher level when she was named the Governor's Teacher of the Year. I can go on with such an impressive resume of the accomplishments that Mitzi Hightower-Teel has achieved and the great credit that she has brought to the city of Trenton and to her family and to her church family. So please, without further ado, help me to bring to the stage our very special guest today, Miss Mitzi Hightower-Teel.
Yeah, let me tell you about the ones they tried to hide. The heroes in the shadows who stood up with pride. Shirley Chisholm, first Black woman in Congress. I'm bored and I'm boss, paved the way for generations, no matter the cost. Bayer Rustin organized the march in Washington, you see. Behind the scenes, architect of equality. Claudette Colvin, 15 years old, refused to give up a seat. 9 months before Rosa, but history incomplete. Annie Lee Cooper stood in line to vote, got punched in the face. But she fought back, wouldn't let him put her in a place. Dorothy Heights, civil rights queen for 6 decades strong. Fighting for women's rights, righting every wrong. Bessie Coleman, first Black woman pilot to fly. Broke barriers in the sky, reaching way up high. Robert Abbott founded the Chicago Defender, spread the news. Gave Black voices power, shared our view. You can't erase us, can't erase us. We're written in the stars, we're written in the...
But listen, Mitzi, take us back to your experience as a cheerleader at Trenton Central High School, and how did that shape your leadership skills today?
Well, first of all, thank you, Reverend Hood, for inviting me to be on your show, Real Life, Real Talk. This is amazing. Congratulations to you. And it's an honor to be able to sit and tell my story with you and others that are watching. So I thank you. Before I answer this question, I would like to just go back, just give you a little background of an experience that I had.
Okay.
So I was always athletic, okay, but never trained. Never had gone to a dance school, never had taken cheerleading lessons, never had taken gymnastics. I was one that was, I would call myself a tom girl, would, participate in sports with boys, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Growing up in the Wilbur section of Trenton, our go-to was the park.
Right.
the park in our neighborhood where they had the basketball court. You had the mattress where, the guys would run and flip. Well, I was with the guys. So I learned my athletic skills through participating with, in the neighborhood by playing in the neighborhood.
Wow.
So during my middle school years, actually in the 9th grade, I mustered up enough nerve to try out for the cheerleading squad.
Okay.
And at that time, they had no brown complexion cheerleaders, right? But this was something that I saw that I thought that I would love and enjoy doing. And I thought that I kind of had a gift.
Right.
Even not being trained, I didn't know what to look forward to, but I mustered up enough nerve to try out for the squad.
Okay.
And so it was a 3-day tryout. I thought I did very well. It was fun. It was exciting. So the day after the 3 days, when the list of cheerleaders, the list of young ladies who made the squad was to be posted, during PE class, the coach asked me to report to her office, right? So I go to her office and she's telling me, thanking me for trying out and that I did a great job and that I scored high. And then she said, but unfortunately, she said, we can't use you on the squad, right? And I'm like,
right?
Right, like what? All this doesn't match up. You did well, you scored high, but we can't use you. So then she taps her hand like, complexion,
Wow.
And I'm like,
Oh, wow.
So I didn't get, I don't know. I can't remember what I felt back then. We're talking about 13 years of age, 14, somewhere around there. But I remember going home to tell my mother that, of the experience, because she knew I was trying out for the cheerleading squad. And I told her I didn't make it. And I told her, what the coach stated. And, she didn't get upset. She just said, that's not for you. She said, don't let it bother you. She said, you continue to be you. She said, that squad is not meant for you. And so with her spirit, not allowing that to bother her, it didn't bother me.
Right.
And so I then went on to Trenton High School, and that experience really could have stopped me, or allowed me to say, no, I'm never going to do this again, never try out for anything else.
Right.
But I tried out for Trenton High School under the leadership of Mrs. Sharon Grady, a young, beautiful coach, right? Tried out for the squad. And you have at least, I'm going to say about maybe 150 to 200 young ladies trying out, because you're talking about North, East, South, and West Trenton all coming together.
Right.
Everyone wants to be on the cheerleading squad, right?
Right, exactly.
All these young ladies. And to be amongst the 15 that were selected, and then to be announced the captain of the group was a blessing. I didn't know it was a blessing at that time, but when I think about it now, what a blessing.
Wow.
What a blessing. So that kind of started my leadership skills, to be the team leader, to make decisions for the group, to learn the sport. I had to learn basketball, football game,
Right.
To call out certain cheers. I choreographed a lot of the cheers at Trenton Central High School. And when I look and I see some of the cheers that they're still doing that I choreographed, it's like, wow. Wow. Yep. So it was an awesome experience, an awesome blessing that was bestowed upon me.
Wow. Well, you know what, Mitzi, I'm going to go backwards a little bit. I'm going to go back to the middle school, junior high, when you were denied. And obviously we look at it now, we know today when somebody calls you in the office and they start giving you all the accolades of how good you're doing, we know there's a but coming. There's a but coming. But you were too young to understand the but factor. So when she told you that, first I have to ask, was the coach, was she African American or was she white? Was she a woman of color or not?
She was not a woman of color.
Okay, so I'm just trying to figure out the impact that you could have possibly been experiencing when there was a white woman who told you, but she had enough nerve or enough, I like to say, respect to say this is the reason why you didn't make it. But even today, Mitzi, even today, people are being denied, women of color, intelligent, brilliant women of color are being denied their rightful place in corporations and their community because still the color of their skin. So when you were 13, 14 years old, just a young girl, and you were able to overcome that barrier that some adults today don't know how to do, that spoke volumes to your character. That spoke volumes to the leadership that God was preparing for you to embark in, because like you said, that could have crashed you. That hurt because you knew it's different when you're good and you go in there and you outshine everything on the floor. Everything. And on your worst day, you were better than everybody out there. You didn't make that cut. So I'm glad that it didn't do what the enemy had intended it to do to your character and to your determination. But now let's move on into back to Trenton High.
Okay.
So now you're captain, you're getting in there, you're under the direction of the awesome Miss Sharon Grady. And obviously in Trenton High was still a big name when it came to high schools in the state of New Jersey. Everybody, when you said Mercer County, they didn't say Ewing High School, Lawrence. They said Trenton High School.
Trenton High School. That's right.
You say Mercer County, it was Trenton High School.
Trenton High.
Because we were just there. That's just how it is. So now you're in the high school, captain and cheerleader, one of the most influential high schools in the state. How? And then now you're getting ready to run track. So now you're incorporating track. Now, how did running track and cheerleading, go hand in hand? And did your time and experience on a track and field course help also develop leadership skills in you?
Well, yes, it did. And my reasons for joining the track team was just to stay in shape, to prepare myself for cheerleading season, because the cheerleading season was, during football and basketball. Okay. Right. And then you had that off season if you wasn't running track, or playing softball. Right. So I joined the track team, not knowing that I apparently I had a gift or a skill in track, track and field. I did not know that this, I didn't like it when I looked at it and I was saying, oh, that's hard work,
Yeah, right.
It's hard work.
It is.
Discipline. That definitely takes discipline to be on the track team. And so to be on the track team, to accomplish what I did on the track team, they would put me the last leg of the 400, or the last leg of the 100. Because they didn't know where to place me because I could do the distance and short sprints, right? So, and then I would run the 800, which is 2 laps around the track. So that prepared me for cheerleading season. Okay. But then I also gained a love for it and then became captain of the track team at Trenton Central High School the last year.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Look, you're like Pastor Armstrong at the, and I know we'll get to the Hall of Fame, whatever, but when they started announcing that I was on the gymnastics team and captain of the track team and, placed 7th out of 33 runners
wow. My
out of the CIAA tournament, he was like, I didn't know all this about you, and I'm not one that, just what they consider brag or whatever.
Right.
If you ask me, I'll tell you, but I'm not one to say that I did this or I did that.
Listen, I understand. I am the same way, Mitzi. And that's just the humbleness in your spirit. That's all. But and see, when you're humble, God can elevate you. When you're humble, He can elevate you, and He has definitely, obviously, elevated you in track and field. Now, I noticed something. You said that you were not only the captain, but you were the last leg. That's an honor in itself to be the last leg, because you're the one that they know are going to cross the finish line.
Yes.
You're going to carry the team over the finish line. So even becoming the anchor in the last leg, they were quietly putting the role of leadership on your shoulder as well. So it seems like every aspect of your athletic career in high school was slowly and surely developing you for the leadership down the line. But you know what? I like Jersey. It's my hometown. I love it. I'm not gonna say I love Trenton High, because I was UNI High and y'all are rivals. Ain't nothing personal. But we just listen. We will play all Lawrence. We prepared mediocre. They were just mediocre. Hamilton, of course. Then even Notre Dame, we didn't have a problem with. But Notre Dame, before Trenton High came into the CBC on our division, it was Notre Dame was our biggest rival.
Okay.
But the year when we opened up that season, we saw Trenton Central High School. Hey, look, it was standing room only.
Right.
Girl, I put on my very best. I tried to act a fool in that game.
Right.
I really did, because Trenton always brings out the top quality of athletic and competition in another school. You don't go to Trenton High sleeping. You don't go. When you go, you got to bring your A+ game.
Bring your A game. That's right.
Don't bring your A game, is game over. So
and plus,
and you need some extra. Bring an A game and somebody else's A game, and so Trenton High has always brought out the fierce competition in other schools in the CBC. But let's take a ride down to North Carolina.
Okay.
We're going to talk about your time at Elizabeth City State University. Now, we're going to talk about that. Now, you came down there, and you'll be able to tell us, that experience and how that came about, your recruiting. But as a cheerleader down there for 4 years, how did that 4-year time period pretty much put the ribbon and bow on the package that we will soon to come to know as Mitzi Hightower-Teel with It By Mitzi and all the great things that you're doing now? How did Elizabeth City fall into that shaping of your character and leadership?
Well, first I'd like to go back to give honor and kudos to the late Lenny Carmichael.
Right.
Because he's the one who came to my home and spoke to my mom about going to Elizabeth City. I thought I was going to be a beautician, a hair beautician, because my grandmother was one of the business owners. She owned her own beauty parlor here in Trenton, New Jersey.
Wow.
She, along with Florence Hightower, she had High Tones Beauty Shop. And then you had Mary Cooper, Miss Lorraine's mother, who also had a beauty shop. So her goal was for one of her granddaughters to take over her beauty shop. So when I went to Trenton High School, my major was cosmetology. Okay. After being with Miss Grady, Sharon Grady, the coach, cheerleader coach, after being under her tutelage, I saw something in her that I enjoyed. It was like, this I want to do, to be able to teach physical education, to be able to have fun when work, to be able to touch lives, Right. And so Sharon Grady, first Lenny Carmichael came to my home, spoke to my mom about going to Elizabeth City. Sharon Grady, I mentioned to Sharon that, and I'm saying Sharon Grady, it was always Mrs. Grady.
Right. I know it.
I explained to her that this is what I wanted to do. How can I do this? And she took me to the guidance counselor and had me change my major so that I can take college courses to prepare myself to go to college. Right. So here, now I'm going back to Lenny Carmichael, who finally, after speaking to my mom a few times, because she was thinking Elizabeth City New Jersey. She was thinking Elizabeth, New Jersey.
New Jersey, right?
Not North Carolina. And her baby wasn't going nowhere, you know.
Like
It was like,
Nope.
And I wasn't the type of young lady who hung out. I didn't go to parties. I didn't do that kind of stuff. So, you know, she was like, no, she ain't going. You know, she's not going. And it wasn't because she didn't want me to go to college. It was because she knew, as a single parent at that time, you know, working 2-3 jobs, that she wasn't able to afford to send me to college. So this whole time when he's saying, oh, she's going to college, you know, she can go to Elizabeth City, she was, in her mindset, it was, you know, I can't afford this. But she gave it. And so which allowed me to go to Elizabeth City State University. And what a life-changing experience. To go to a HBCU.
Right.
It was scary at first because I hadn't been on a college campus, right?
Okay.
And going back again, it was like the talk of my neighborhood, the Wilbur section. Mitzi's going to college. Mitzi's going to college, you know? We get there. So I get to Elizabeth. So we take 3 carloads of family members, my siblings, my mom, my grandmother, my sister's husband. All of us go to Elizabeth City. And at that time, it was a small city. The campus, you know, I had never been on a college campus, so it was just didn't know what to expect. But I see all these young men running around with ball heads. There was the football team. They were inducted into the football team, so they shaved their heads, right? And I'm like, what is going on here? I wanted to go home, right? I actually cried when they left. It was like, don't leave me here, right?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
But long story short, the next week I tried out for the cheerleading squad.
Okay.
And I say tried out for the cheerleading squad, but let me go back even before that. Lenny Carmichael sent 9 of us from Trenton Central High School to Elizabeth City. All right. So I had friends, but then, you know what I mean? Everyone's going their different ways.
Yeah.
But I tried out for the cheerleading squad, and then I made the cheerleading squad. And then they announced captain again of the cheerleading squad. And I'm like, okay. But not knowing how just that experience, I was able to bring what was instilled in me to a university cheerleading squad. And it was a totally different squad. They were, I mean, they didn't dance. They didn't, you know, it was different.
Right. Exactly.
And so when I choreographed, you know, because you had to choreograph a cheer in order to try out, you know. And so I presented my cheer, and then to be announced captain of the squad, it was, again, another blessing.
I know it was.
And then to be able to lead the squad for 4 years. I was captain for 4 years of the squad. So that experience of friendships, of leadership, of getting to know the coaches personally, you know, because you had to connect with the coaches.
Right.
To be known as a leader at Elizabeth City State University. It was just so much love and again, a blessing to be in that position, to travel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be able to band, the amazing marching band, that whole experience was like, wow. Yep.
Oh my goodness. And you know, there's nothing like an HBCU marching band.
Nothing.
I don't care what you know, these got these big old Division I schools, the Rutgers, they got the little band. Boy, when we take the field with an HBCU marching band,
but the
marching game over. It's game over. We taking no prisoners, and they have something down here. I don't know if you ever attended one, but they have the HBCU Battle of the Bands right here in Atlanta. Girl, let me tell you something.
Right.
Let me tell you something. I'm trying to tell you, it's woo, but that's a whole nother story. But, so tell me something. Now we're in school. We set our roots in Elizabeth City. We found our grooves. So you down in Elizabeth City. you have the fraternities, you have all the sororities, you have the deltas, you have the AKs, you have all of these sororities. Why Swing Phi Swing?
Why Swing Phi Swing?
Yes.
Well, before I went to college, I had a couple teachers that talked to me about, they said, when you go to college, look up Delta, become a Delta. I had another teacher tell me to look up AKA,
Right.
I didn't know anything about the sororities, heard of them, but not, know deep information about the sororities. So when I got to college, I watched, I said sororities should be about sisterhood. All of them supposed to be about sisterhood and community.
Right.
So I watched. And as the captain of the cheerleading squad, I was invited to all their expressors, right? All their interests to join their organization, to sororities. Swing Phi Swing, there was something different. And they were different.
Okay.
They were new. Okay. I watched the sisterhood. I watched the sister and the brotherhood. That connection that they had together. The brothers were always so respectful to the sisters. The sisters just connected together. They had living founders.
Wow.
Okay, so a new organization with living. They were founded in 1969.
Okay.
So they stood out to me, and I watched for a year, and I said, didn't know which direction I wanted to go, but immediately, I saw that I wanted to be a part of Swing Phi Swing Social Fellowship Incorporated, and their vision was to promote leadership, academic, well, all of them really.
Right.
Promote leadership, academic excellence, community involvement, civil and culture consciousness. And they strive to embody sisterhood through fellowship. And Swing Phi Swing, actually, the name stood out to me.
Right.
Swing Phi Swing is an acronym. Okay, swing, the SWING is Sisters with Interests Never Gone. Okay. The Phi, most people think it's Greek. The Phi is promoting higher intelligence.
Whoa.
Yes, promoting higher intelligence, right? And then the swing, the second swing, is supporting women in need of growth. Okay.
Whoa.
So yes. And then they did not want to be, the founders chose not to be a Greek organization. And quickly, I like to just read something from our bylaws.
Please.
Okay.
Please.
It says, and this is in our bylaws. Amidst the Black Power movement and the Civil Rights era, our founders, which we have 12 founders, were inspired to create an organization that embraced Afrocentricity and stood apart from the traditional Black Greek letter organization. They aimed to honor tradition and maintain uniformity as a sister organization to Groove Phi Groove Social Fellowship Incorporated, which had incorporated the Greek letter Phi into its name. Decades later, the inclusion of Phi, the PHI, in our name continues to serve only as a symbolic representation of promoting higher intelligence and reinforcing our cohesive identity. To avoid being characterized as a Greek organization, they deliberately chose the term social fellowship instead of sorority, signaling a departure from the conventional Greek fraternal system and underscoring our district identity. So this was a choice to become a social fellowship.
Wow.
Okay, it was a choice. And the one thing I like about Swing Phi Swing is that we don't turn down women because they don't have a degree. Where many of the organizations, sororities, right away, if you don't have a college degree,
That's it.
That's it. We have accepted women who, of good standings, may have had college credits, joined our organization, were accepted, joined the organization, now have a master's degree. So our theme is to promote higher intelligence, higher. So that stood out to me. And then to actually meet founders and to be able to tell their story. Right now, today, I'm a member of Zori, in New Jersey, Zori chapter of Swing Phi Swing.
Yes.
Okay. It's Zori graduate chapter of Swing Phi Swing. We have 2 founders that are active with our organization, with our chapter.
Okay.
And so to be amongst founders, planning events, fellowshipping is just a blessing. I can tell their story. I don't have to read about, their story. I'm able to tell what type of person that she was or that they were, so it's that right there. That was a interest too. And then they were different.
Right.
They dared, their theme was dare to be different. And so I dared to be different. Many people were shocked because they just automatically assumed that, she's going to come home, she's going to be a Delta, she's going to be AKA, she's going to be a Zeta,
Right, exactly.
And, I dared to become different. And I have absolutely no regrets. I love Swing Phi Swing Social Fellowship Incorporated.
My goodness. You know what? I'm as you were talking, that just piqued my interest so high that I think we're going to have to politic a episode for Swing Phi Swing. You get a couple of your sisters, you guys get a couple of sisters on here, because the fact that you are inclusive makes you different. The fact that you're tolerant makes you different. So you guys are really, to me, and I got aunts and friends and loved ones that are, and so I'm not talking against any.
Right. Nothing, because we all do the same thing. We're about community.
But Swing Phi Swing, just that little short introduction about them, you taught me so much that I had no idea. I had zero idea. First off, I thought you were Greek.
Okay. Not Greek.
Spell that, you're not Greek. So yeah, I think we need to do an episode. I'm not going up from right field. I'm just putting this out there, so start working on this. I would like to do an episode on Swing Phi Swing, the Zori chapter in New Jersey, and I think a lot of people don't really know.
They don't know.
They don't know. There's some young black girls right now, young black women in California that don't know that this is out there. This is available, that I can be a part of something that's bigger than me, that's inclusive. They see me. I'm not just a number. I'm not just a thing.
That's right.
They recognize the struggles that I go through because they're similar. So yeah, not going too far off track because me.
We have a lot to talk about. Look.
Hey, that's the whole episode right there.
Right.
Okay. So Swing Phi Swing, the fellowship, the Social Fellowship Incorporated, it had to help you. It sounds like it helped you to get through those 4 years and really find Mitzi Hightower in a professional way. So it sounds all right. We got to do that. Okay, now you don't took us through partially through. I didn't, we still got some areas to go, but you take halfway through your college, North Carolina days. Now Mitzi's getting ready to graduate. She has this degree. You taught and came back home and you taught for 37 years at the Dunn Middle School. When you left Elizabeth City, was that the goal at that time, or you was still kind of in the air of what you want to do with your degree?
I was in the air, and that's a great question because my plan was to come home, come home for about 2 months, and then relocate to North Carolina.
Okay. Okay.
That was my goal. And then I came home and applied for a job. I don't know what I was thinking about. I knew I was going to leave, but I applied for a job. I didn't get a job right away. I was long-term sub at Hedgepath at Junior 2.
Junior 2. Okay.
And then the funny thing, Reverend Eric, I was co-partner with the coach who denied me.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say that, Mitzi. Take that back right now.
I became a long-term phys ed, a substitute position, long-term in the PE department with the coach who denied me.
My goodness.
And we became best buds.
That's good.
We became best. She would not retire. She wanted me to take over for her. She kept asking me, and so I was there for actually 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then a position came. It was a long-term position that came available at Dunn Middle School.
Okay.
I lived near Junior 2. So it was like, do I want to work where I live? You know what I mean? Do I want to work in the same, environment, the same area that I live? Dunn Middle School was in the South Trenton area. So when that position came available, I decided to transfer to Dunn Middle School.
Okay.
So I took a long-term position. During this time, the coach continued to contact me. She wanted to retire at this time, and she said, I want you to take over for me. I will not leave until you. But I decided to take the position at Dunn Middle School. So yes, I spent 37 years in one school, which is rare. Which is rare.
Exactly.
People transfer from one school if they're there a year to 2 years,
Right.
5 years at the most. But to spend my entire journey of educating students at Dunn Middle School was rare.
So you had 37 years of pouring out into these young minds.
Yes.
Everything that you've learned and everything, that you've acquired throughout your adult life. So it had to be a blessing. But see, I want to talk about this Dunn dance group.
The dance group.
And the modeling. Walk us through that. How did that come about? Well, you know what? I know you, and I know your mind is creative, so I can get an idea how it came about. But what sparked that to come about?
Okay, so my second year of teaching at Dunn Middle School, I was hired as the cheerleader coach, the head cheerleader coach, along with the head track coach. I was coaching the girls' track team, so I had cheerleading and track. I've always had a connection and a bond with my students.
Okay.
So number one, they thought I was their age. I can do what they could do. I could dance, double Dutch, things that they loved to do.
Right.
I formed a dance group, and that was with no pay. It was just I incorporated a dance group and a double Dutch team and the modeling team.
Wow.
Okay. And then we would perform. We would have 2 shows per year that the community looked forward to. This was something, packed house, packed standing room only. And this kept the kids involved. This kept them because I required good grades, good attendance, good behavior. And so the kids connected to me because I had something that they wanted, enjoyed. Right. Not only my spirit, but the to be able to dance, to be able to model. You know what I mean? Those are things that I wanted to do as a kid. And like I said, my mom wasn't able to afford to send me to those schools.
Right.
Or, but I had, again, a gift.
You
that
did.
was instilled in me. So I instilled this into my students.
Mm.
So to practice 3 days a week,
Okay.
and I believe me, we had between 40 to 60 kids that were there, girls and boys, that that attend, would look forward, would come to school, number one, because they know they had to be in school in order to come to practice.
One,
Had to have good grades,
two,
had to have good behavior. You are
three.
not being sent to the office for anything because you can't attend practice, or you need to talk to me.
Mama.
And so this became an interest for, and something for the students and the parents to look forward to. I have people, and where I see some of my ex-students today, and they thank me, and they still remember, man, that fashion show was tight. That fashion show, the dance group, I could dance like them. I could incorporate dances that they enjoyed, and that's what I did. And they enjoyed that. This was something that, like I said, I didn't get paid for, but those were 3 areas that I did for years and didn't, look for benefits from it. And, the benefit was that the students excelled.
That's
What I enjoyed. That's what I got out of it, that the students excelled from that. And it kept them in school, interested and growing.
Man, oh man. Listen, Mitzi, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wish I was in Trenton High. Well, it's over with now. We done grown up. But listen, if you think about all that you were doing at Dunn, and the attendance, the grades, the discipline, they all had to be up to par in order for them to participate. So secretly, but openly, you were installing the 3 elements that children need to be successful in high school. You were installing that when they were young minds.
Young minds, yep.
Young minds. So by the time they got to, and what you taught them is that if I want to participate in something that I really enjoy doing, there comes a requirement on my behalf. I have to be right in class. It got to be this, it got to be that. So these young men and women took that same discipline as they got to high school, and if they wanted to play a certain sport, or they want to take place in a certain activity, they had to maintain those 3 cores of discipline that you poured out and installed in them and done. So it's just a legacy, Missy, in itself of what you've done and what you were able to accomplish through these young minds. You have no idea of how many of those minds that have gone off and were successful in college and are successful in life today, because they still remember those 3 core elements of discipline that Coach Hightower taught us about: doing good in school, being on time, not missing any days. And so you, in dance, doing what you love doing, you were educating.
And actually, I stayed 1 year longer than I had planned.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, my mom had taken ill, and I had spent my family and I had spent 7 years taking care of my mom. Right, she had a massive stroke in 2005, and wasn't expected to live overnight. They said she wouldn't live, but God, yeah, she lived 7 years. And so during that, so I was teaching, coaching, would leave school, go with my mom, stay there till, because she was in the nursing home. I would leave there maybe 12 in the evening, 12 in the morning, come home, shower, go to work, start the day all over again. And so the year I was going to retire, when she passed, I was going to retire that particular year. And then my track team convinced me to stay another year. They had won the championship, right? And they were like, please don't leave us. Please don't go. Right. And I prayed on it and prayed on it. So I worked another year.
Right.
And so that following year, they won the championship again, right? Track. Yeah. So I did stay 1 extra year because of my track team, because of the love that I had for my students and, for what I was doing, But my body was tired. It was tired.
It was time. It was time.
Yeah.
So now you
And
retired.
a business on top of it, because I
You
still
get
have
ready to talk about that right
Shape
now.
It by Mitzi.
We're gonna talk about that right now. So, in the midst of you teaching and encouraging and just pouring out into the young minds of New Jersey, Trenton, New Jersey, when did the vision for Shape It by Mitzi come into play?
Okay, great question. Um, the vision started actually my senior year at Elizabeth City State University. My work study was to teach my professors jazzercise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they would come in the evenings, 3 nights a week. I taught my professors jazzercise
Okay.
my senior year. So when I graduated, I along with getting the teaching job, so I became a teacher, and then I wanted to continue the fitness business
Okay.
as well. So I will start a fitness business. So I had come up with Jazzercise by Mitzi. George Bradley had offered a position, wanted someone to rent his space, right?
Wow.
So I went to George Bradley,
Wow.
gave him my proposal, and I ended up renting his space. Actually, Steve Chambliss, the karate instructor, Steve Chambliss, he and I partnered, rented the spa together.
Wow.
And so I had Jazzercise by Mitzi classes, and he had the karate classes.
Wow.
Right. So we shared the space for actually 12 years. 12
Okay.
years. So it started off as Jazzercise by Mitzi.
Okay.
And then the name changed.
The name
So I
change.
came up with Shape It by Mitzi. And if you see my logo, I drew this logo.
Wow.
I wanted to incorporate the shape.
The shape. I see it.
Thinking of modeling. So modeling with the hat.
Okay.
But by Mitzi, the Shape It name for fitness. Okay, so that's why you see the shape of a body, a woman's body, but she's stylish, right?
She's stylish.
So it
She
came
is.
with the fashion in
Right.
included in there, right? So I drew this logo and then had it patented. And so I came up with Shape It by Mitzi, fitness for your body, mind, heart, and soul, right?
My mind.
This program is designed to bring fitness to your body, clarity to your mind, strength to your heart, and enlightenment to your soul. Okay, so that goes into that holistic area where I didn't want it to be just about the outside,
Okay.
but the inside. You also have to watch what you put inside your body.
That's
You
true.
know what I mean? So you have to eat healthy. So it didn't just, although you see the shape and that kind of thing, in order to get that, you have to take care of the whole spirit.
The whole spirit.
Yeah.
The whole
So
spirit.
my, and even back then, it's funny because I gave it a scripture back then. It was 1 Corinthians,
Okay.
chapter 6, verses 19 and 20. Do you know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit that is within you? You are not your own. You're bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your body. So everything through fitness, through my dance, I incorporate God. God is in the mix. He is in the mix.
Right.
Yeah. So
We've watched during, I didn't watch it actually during the pandemic time, but as I go through the archives of our church's videos, we still have some of your classes that you were doing in the church. So I watched those. Matter of fact, those are the first ones I really started watching because I was trying to, at that point, I was trying to do something different for myself. God has elevated you. He's taking you through such a journey, not one that is often seen in the everyday. It's not seen every day. You went from disappointment to becoming a captain to going off to school. You, in each stage of that journey, you were doing something you never thought that you would do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Each stage of that journey brought to light your ability to do what you thought or what you never thought you
Thought I could do. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
You know, you've
Yep.
always had the desire to do it, but you didn't know in which and how it was going to be done. So I think your journey in itself is just a testament, but it's overall, it's truly a testament to the scripture that I can do all things
Through Christ,
Who
who
strengthens.
strengthens. That's right. Who strengthens.
who strengthens me. But if we go to the pure foundation of your success, it is absolutely Jesus Christ, because
Jesus Christ.
the humility that, first off,
Mhm.
what young person knows about being humble? You tell me.
Right. Exactly.
Ooh,
They don't.
it's all about what, the
Mhm.
greatness and this, that, and the
Mhm.
third. So one, you came into this with the humble spirit. You expressed and displayed that humility when you were denied a spot on that cheerleading team in junior 2. Then you took that humility and you said, I'm not going to allow, with the help of your mother, you
Mhm.
didn't allow that situation to break you. You just remained humble, and it was just like you were abiding your time, because your time was going to come.
Mhm.
What does the Bible tell us? It says, though, wait
Those who wait.
upon the Lord.
That's right.
To do
Upon the
what?
Lord.
Mount up.
Mhm.
So as you were humble and young, you were still didn't realize that you began your waiting on God.
I really didn't.
You didn't see it, but God said, God positioned you to be able to wait on him. And as you waited, you began to get elevated. You
Mhm.
began to mount up, because through your waiting, you got more. And it goes back to another scripture. What? He's able to do exceedingly abundantly above all.
Abundantly more than we can ask for.
You asked to be on the cheerleading team. God
That's
said, I
right.
got something better. I'm gonna make you the captain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You wanted to
None of these things I asked for.
you didn't ask for it. You see what I'm saying? You're like, okay,
Uh-huh.
I want to be the cheerleader. I'm the captain of the high school cheerleading. God said, I got something
Mhm.
better. I'm gonna make you the captain of the power. And then
Mhm.
after that, it's just it's the beauty of your spirit and your humility is what God is using to place you and position you, elevate you to a place where you're seen. You don't want to be seen,
I'm
but
not trying to be seen.
no, you
Yeah.
don't want to be seen. No, I know. But you're being seen, and as you're being seen, what they're seeing is not Mitzi, but they're seeing that the God that is working through Mitzi,
Working through me. Mhm.
through shaped by Mitzi, and through all of your dancing. And you have something. You were an instructor on the Dr. Oz show.
Yeah, Dr. Oz show.
And what, Kelly and Michael national television? Tell us a little bit about that. I wanted to ask that question. What was that like, doing those two, Dr. Oz and the Kelly and Michael, the television show? What was that like?
Okay, so I'm gonna go back first with your body, your temple fitness program. So after I retired, I was asked, actually from Shiloh members, like, how can you help us out? How can you help? And it started with the retirees, what can we do to become fit? Can you start some classes for us? So in actually 2018, we started in person, your body, your temple classes. So we would meet on every Thursday at Shiloh for in-person classes. Right. Then the pandemic hit. Okay, so I continued through the entire pandemic. Pastor Armstrong, myself, and Wayne were at Shiloh Baptist Church taping and that was Pastor's idea. He was like, Mitzi, want to think out of the box. I'm like stuck at home. I'm like, okay, I want to be home. Because here's a person that didn't get much time at home.
Right.
So it was like, okay, now I have an opportunity to be home.
That's right.
So he was like, let's think out of the box. How would you like to teach some, your body, your temple classes at the church? And I'm like, okay, come out during the pandemic.
Yeah, right.
But I did. I was obedient. I did. So, and then that lasts and continued. So we still have our, now we're back in person with the Your Body, Your Temple fitness classes.
Right.
Now to your question about, so I was on the Kelly and Michael Strahan. So I got to meet Michael Strahan,
Right.
Jamie Foxx and his daughter, right?
Goodness.
Yeah. So you go to the show, right? And then they have auditions for, for the opening dancer, right? And I remember 3 of the praise dancers, we had gone, they had treated me for my birthday. We had gone to the Kelly and Michael show.
Okay.
And so, of course, they talked me into auditioning for that part, right? To open up the show. And I did, and I was selected. So then they take you backstage and you're meeting all the, the stars back there, Jamie Foxx, his daughter, Kelly, Michael Strahan, that was just a experience in itself, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. The other time, so 2 other times I became a trivia dancer through virtual. So during COVID, you had to send in a video and then they would select who they wanted to, show as their trivia dancer.
Okay.
And so that was during Kelly and Ryan. So Kelly and Ryan, I was on the show twice with them. So just the experience was, it made me want to really promote my business, really do what's needed to
get it out there.
grow because they have them ask you about, Shape It by Mitzi, what do you do, to give them background about yourself. It just made me want to really uplift, and gave me that more encouragement to do what's need grow. So great experience though.
I can only imagine, meeting again. It goes all the way back to the young lady who was denied a spot on a team that she rightfully should have been on. God took that disappointment and look at what he's done, and look how far he's brought you based on that disappointment, because we don't know how the Lord works. So
and then to be inducted into the Trenton Central High School Hall of Fame for cheerleading. So to be denied from cheerleading, 1998, I was inducted, the first cheerleader to be, and I believe only cheer. I have to check with Miss Grady, but I believe I'm the only cheerleader to be inducted into the Trenton Central High School Hall of Fame. And so, yes, so that denied Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame on both levels. We haven't got
both levels, right?
A minute, but just think about it.
Nothing but God. I give God all the glory, honor, and praise. I just praise God, and I just thank God. Thank God. When I wake up in the morning, my go-to scripture is Acts 17:28.
Okay.
In him we live, move, and have our being. But I personalize it. In him I live.
You live.
I move.
That's right.
And I have my being. I live, I move when I'm able to open my eyes, and then I have strength, and I'm in my right mind, and I'm able to place my feet on the floor, and I'm able to stand up and go about my day.
Yes.
In him, I live, I move, and I have my being.
Oh my Lord, girl, start my church up in there.
Yes.
Listen, because
everything is a praise. Everything, even my fitness class, they know they gonna get God in the mix. Because I'm like the praise. I am the gospel fitness instructor.
You're a gospel fitness instructor.
I am the gospel. Because I'm preaching as I'm teaching.
You're teaching, as you're dancing, you're ministering.
I'm ministering.
You are delivering a message every time.
Yes, I am. Everywhere I go.
That praise dance team goes up there. You're delivering a message through one of the oldest art forms on the planet. It is a blessing. It's a blessing because you guys are just phenomenal.
You have real life. I'm real for God. I have a real love for God. My love for God is real. It's real.
And for all who are watching and don't know, go to our channel, Shiloh Baptist Church of Trenton, New Jersey, and pull up one of those episodes where our praise dance team, led by my sister, my big sister, Mitzi Hightower-Teel, and you will see what I'm talking about. There is such a powerful message every time they take their feet and place it on the ground before the people of God, you're missing out if you have not seen them. So go check it out. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed.
Wow.
To God be all the glory. We got to take this trip. Now, see, the reason why we saved this for last, because everybody at Shiloh, everybody, all your friends, your Swing Phi Swing sisters, your family, we all celebrated this with you. Everybody, we all couldn't celebrate your accomplishments at Trenton High because you didn't know everybody, and you know, but this particular one, which I consider to be the granddaddy, we all celebrated this with you.
Wow.
We all loved you. We were all happy for you. You know, the buzz went crazy when we found out.
Wow.
So Mitzi Hightower-Teel, you were inducted into the Elizabeth City State University Sports Hall of Fame in 2025 as a cheerleader. They saw you as a cheerleader.
Yes.
But those that know you, we see you as a leader. They didn't just induct another outstanding athlete. Nah, that's what they think. What they did is they inducted one of God's finest. They inducted a leader. God said that he'll raise up a nation. They inducted somebody that was handpicked and raised by the hand of God himself. And so being that he allowed that to happen, placed you on another platform to be visually seen by those coming behind you that didn't know that cheerleading could even be considered.
Yes. Yes.
You went down in Elizabeth City simply just to go to school and get your degree and quite possibly do some things that you enjoy doing. That's what you went down there for.
Right.
But what you didn't realize is that when you went down there, the first room that you entered that had that glass ceiling, you shattered it. You shattered it. The moment you walked on that campus and said, okay, Lord, here am I. Use me. I'm going to go out here and I'm going to be the very best.
Use me.
Mom and my family in New Jersey, I'm going to do that. Use me. So the first glass ceiling you saw, you shattered it. And you've been breaking them ever since. And so why would the Sports Hall of Fame induction be any less? You went there and you broke that glass ceiling. Now the young ladies that are looking to continue their love for cheerleading can go to college and know that if I give it everything I got, that is quite possibly where I can be. You showed them that. We got the evidence. We got that beautiful picture you in that blazer. Standing in front of that backing that says Elizabeth State University. We see it. It's not something that we can read about. We have to read about in our Google search. This is something that we seen and you lived it. So we thank God for you. But I want you to tell the people, what was it like to be in the company of what they consider the greatest athletes to come through the halls of Elizabeth City? And now to be considered, to now be in the same company of said athletes. You are one of those athletes. So every year moving forward, when the young women come in there and they sit down with the inductees, they're going to know that when you're there, they are in the company of greatness. You have just been graduated to that class. So tell us about what was it when you first found out. I want the whole story. So time you found out to the time you put that jacket on and you taking all those pictures, go.
It's unreal. It still seems unreal, but indeed a blessing. And again, nothing but God. This goes back to, again, Coach Lenny Carmichael.
Right.
Okay. Coach Lenny Carmichael apparently in 2024 nominated me to be the first cheerleader to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Okay, they had never had, and the Coach Mackey, who's on the committee, Hall of Fame committee, stated that cheerleaders were just never even thought of. But Lenny Carmichael was like, we have to recognize cheerleaders. And the best cheerleader to come through this university was Mitzi Hightower-Teel, right? And I'm like 45 years later. This is wow. That's an honor in itself, you know.
Yes, it is.
So, so long story short, Coach Lenny put everything in place. Then he passed. Okay, they say he submitted some of the paperwork, but some of the paperwork wasn't submitted. Right. So his service, his memorial celebration of life service, I was asked to dance at his service. Right. And actually the 5 of us that graduated, Lenny Carmichael sent 9 of us that particular year in 1976 to Elizabeth City. After the first year, 4 of them were gone. Right. The five of us graduated.
Okay.
The 5 of us, Monica Carmichael included us because she said we were his favorites. She included the 5 of us in his service to have a part, me to dance, someone to speak. So to be a part of his celebration of life service. I danced at his service, and what an honor to be able to dance at his service.
Amen.
Coaches from Elizabeth City watched this service virtually.
Okay.
After I danced, Miss Lorraine comes to me and told me there's Coach Mackey on the phone that would like your phone number. He said he's from Elizabeth City State University, right? And she said that he's been trying to get in touch with you. And I'm like, oh, sure, Coach Mackey. She said, can I give him your number? And I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
So he reaches out to me, told me that they have been looking for me, trying to find me because I was nominated for the Hall of Fame to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. But Coach Carmichael didn't turn in 3 recommendations, right? He said, that's the only part. He said, then you're on the list. He said, it's too late for 2024 because they've already selected the 2024, but you will be in the running for 2025, you know?
Wow.
Right. So, and my sister was with me at the time while I'm speaking to Coach Mackey. And she was like, 3 recommendations, that's nothing. We got to get this in, you know?
We get them right now.
He did all the other work. He did all the work, right? So they started reaching out. I think I had maybe 20 some recommendations that were sent in.
My.
And apparently, and then they send you the information of all the nominees and, you know, let you know that you're nominated, and then a letter to follow who was selected. And so I was selected to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. That particular year, 2024, a cheerleader coach was recognized to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, but not a cheerleader. So it's still, I'm the first cheerleader to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yes, you are.
So right away, Lenny Carmichael, the blessing, that was nothing but a blessing. It's nothing but God. Here I'm dancing at a service that the coach that need to get in touch with me
happens to be watching.
Right, happens to be watching. And then I even go back further than that. The fact that Lenny wasn't even a member of Shiloh. Right. And then to have his service at Shiloh and for me to dance at, you know what I mean? I'm like, that's nothing but God. Nothing but God.
Divine timing.
Divine timing. So how does it feel? It's still, even when I gave my acceptance speech, it was like unreal. It was like, okay, I'm sitting amongst like the greatest athletes. I mean, because they return with their jackets on, the Hall of Fame jacket, you know, and I was like, you know, to see my plaque on a wall with the Trotmans, with Lenny Carmichael, it's like, what? It's still like a good dream.
I understand.
It's a good dream, but a blessing. So what it's like to, wow, all I can say is like, wow, thank you, God. Thank you, God, for this opportunity to be an example from Trenton, New Jersey.
Let me make this clear. This episode would not be if it wasn't for Mitzi Hightower-Teel.
Oh, wow.
So listen, it has been an absolute honor to share the stage with you on this morning. I don't know where we at right now. I don't lost track of time being on sick.
And I miss my siblings. I got to give my brother Keith Hightower shout out,
Yes.
Dwayne Hightower a shout out. I have to, and my sister Barb Session. You know,
Yes.
there. You know, my mom taught us that we're all we have, and that we must stick together. Dream Makers Dance Studio, Latoya, my niece Latoya, and Velvet. You know, we were partners for a long time.
So it's been an honor, Mitz. It really has. And this everybody who's listening and watching, this is not the last time you're going to see this young lady. Trust me, we have some big things coming up in here very soon, and just look out for her. But Mitzi, I want to thank you for joining us on this afternoon for Real Life, Real Talk. And, you know, you just been great.
Yeah, let me tell you about the ones they tried to hide. The heroes in the shadows who stood up with pride. Shirley Chisholm, first black woman in Congress. Unboard and unbossed, paved the way for generations, no matter the cost. Bayer Rustin organized the march in Washington, you see. Behind the scenes, architect of equality. Claudette Colvin, 15 years old, refused to give up a seat. 9 months before Rosa, but history incomplete. Annie Lee Cooper stood in line to vote, got punched in the face. But she fought back, wouldn't let them put her in a place. Dorothy Heights, civil rights queen for 6 decades strong. Fighting for women's rights, righting every wrong. Bessie Coleman, first black woman pilot to fly. Broke barriers in the sky, reaching way up high.